Okay, so today, right now, we have Andre AJ Carter. Nice to meet you, Andre.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. No problem at all. I appreciate you for reaching out, and being able to meet with me tonight. I really appreciate it. So, Andre, tell us who you are.
Well, my name is Andre Carter. I'm an author, minister, uh, motivational speaker, relationship coach.
Yeah,
I do all that.
you're a man
I
to
do
me
all that.
thing. Jack of all trades, we call it.
I got 1,000 hats. I got even more because I produce music.
Look at that.
I do videos.
Man, you got it going on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
So,
man.
so Andre, where you from? Give us a background about where you from, and growing up, life growing up.
Okay, well, I'm originally from South Jamaica, Queens, in New York. I'm now in Great Neck, New York, which is on the island. Um, that's basically it. That's where I
Okay.
grew up at.
I got you. I got you. So
Queens.
right. So you from Jamaica, Queens. So right now you staying in Long Island, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you've been there for about, I know me and you talked before this, and you've been there, you say about 20 years.
Yes, I have.
So what drew you to Long Island?
Don't ask, man. It's all about you gotta be bougie and all that type of stuff. When you're young, that's how you think and whatnot. Until you actually get out there, then you see, oh, it's not all it was cracked up to be.
There you
Because you
go.
don't get to see your neighbors, none of that, you
There
know.
you go. Yep, yep,
So,
yep, yep, yep. So
so you know,
Andre, I got you. So I read your bio a little bit, and I was able to read about your upbringing, your rough upbringing. So, my second question for that is, what are some of the obstacles that you had to overcome to get to where you're at right now?
oh man, basically just stay out of jail. It's because of mine who happens to actually be my best friend, me and him were the only ones in the entire neighborhood that didn't need to get shot or end up in jail.
That's crazy.
Neither one of us did jail time. Neither one of us got shot.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Two people.
That's crazy, but that's good though. That's a blessing. That's crazy, but that's good. It's rough growing up in the hood. It's rough growing up in the inner city, man. A lot of people don't understand what we have to go through.
Nah, they don't.
Man.
They don't.
So what high school did you attend out there?
Um, I went to two different high schools. The first one I went to John Adams,
Okay.
and that was when they was busing in the black people in 1980. Yeah,
So tell me,
riots.
how was that? How was that for you? How was that for you back there in 1980?
Man, like I said, it was riots every single day. The white people against the black people. They didn't want us there.
Man, so what give us an example of your routine, a daily routine. Like, let's say it's a Monday, you waking up for school. Like, what was it like for you? Did you take the bus? Did you walk to school? Like, you
Yeah,
know,
we
you
had
know
to take the bus. We had to take the city bus. The bus let us off right in front of the school.
okay.
No big deal.
Police out there? Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, they like to come a little late. You know how they do.
I feel that. I got you. I got you. So how long?
They
How
come once
long?
everything done.
So how long did you stay at John Adams? How long were you at John Adams?
I was there 1 year.
And then
Yep.
where did you go after
Yep.
that?
I went to Jamaica High School because they at that time they had a program called College Discovery Program,
Okay.
where all the kids that had like a 90 and above average,
Mm-hmm.
they were able to get into this College Discovery Program to it was like a big project they were working on, and I got recruited.
Okay.
So I checked it out, you
That's
know.
good. That's good. That's good. So you spent your last 3 years there, man. And
Yep.
then after you graduated, where did life take you after high school?
Uh I went into songwriting. In all actuality, I wanted to go to college. I did a couple of years of college, but
Okay.
um, like all the other big shots, you
Okay.
know,
Okay.
I dropped out.
I feel it. So I saw that you're a songwriter still to this day. Well, I mean, you spent some years, and I think you still are a songwriter to this day, right?
Well, I not to that extent, I
Okay.
still do tracks and stuff,
Did one
I
that
do
one.
that. But
Okay.
I was actually ghostwriting lyrics for different rappers and stuff. I got 29 copywritten songs.
That's
On
crazy.
that level, I'm not doing anymore.
There you go. That's
You
crazy.
know what I mean? Yeah.
That's good to hear. So tell me how we got from songwriter to now an interior lifestyle designer. Like tell us about that transition. Like what transpired from a
It
songwriter to now, the lifestyle interior designer.
it's not really a transition. It because see, keep in mind that like for instance, the what I was doing before was for the money.
Okay.
Okay. The interior lifestyle designing is something that was always me.
Okay.
You know, every time I speak to somebody, I'm trying to educate them on something and wake them up to different things that's happening in the world. I've been
Mm-hmm.
doing that since I was like 17 years old.
There you go. I was just going to ask you that. Okay.
You know,
Man.
so like if I get any knowledge at all on something, I always want to share it with people. The only difference today is that I'm getting paid for it.
There you go. So what? So like what? So give us like a little spill of what exactly is an interior lifestyle designer. You know.
Okay. Um, let's say you got a goal in life,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it might be, or you don't even know your goals. Because I get lots of people that don't even know their goals or whatnot, or what they want to be, or what skill set they have. I help you define your skill set and help you draw a path to get to that skill set. Because
Okay.
if you don't know where you're going, you can't possibly get there.
There you go. Feel
So
that.
I help
I
you
like
get
that.
there.
Yeah, but you helping people finding purpose.
Right. I
Purpose in
help
life.
people find their purpose. That's right.
Okay, I like that. So then now when we get to this, you becoming an interior lifestyle designer, I read in your bio that you also work with underprivileged youth. So when did you figure out, in your life that you actually wanted to work with youth? What age were you, or what point in your life was that you've, found that you wanted to work with underprivileged youth?
Well, I always heard that our school system was subpar,
Mm,
and it wasn't until I moved out here to Great Neck, Long Island, that I realized how subpar it really is.
okay.
Um, my daughter was going to school. She was maybe one of 5 black kids in the entire grade, not class, the entire grade. All right. So they didn't go out of their way to exclude her.
Yep.
She got some of the same everything that all the other kids were getting.
Yep.
And the difference is that when they have a guidance counselor, the guidance counselor follows them around every single class. Like, oh, I hear you're not doing good in such and such. Why are you not doing good in this? Okay, let me sit up there and put you in after school class where you could get such and such as this for free. I wasn't getting that in the hood. They wasn't
Right.
telling me until my report card came.
There you go. Exactly.
I done failed this.
There you go. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. 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 I definitely feel
Nah, they
that.
catch it. They catch you before you mess up.
I like that. I like that. And it's crazy. It's crazy you say that because I'm actually kind of working on the same thing now because I actually work in the school district. Working in public school
Okay.
district here in Michigan. So I'm trying to do my own little thing of actually, doing the same thing, being proactive instead of reactive. Let's jump on
Okay.
this beforehand before it actually gets too worse. And now,
Exactly.
we done dug
Exactly.
ourselves a deep hole. Now we struggling to get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
that's good. That's good, man. So, what are some of the things that you're doing for the youth?
Oh man, I got so many different programs, depending on what the what what's the need of the time and whatnot. One time I did something for the ladies where I had like a container of honey and I passed it around to let's say 20 or 30 kids
Mm-hmm.
with a little cup. And I told them, I started with the young lady. I said, this belongs to you. Now pass it to everybody in your row
Mm-hmm.
and let them pour out a little bit and then give it back to you. Now I started off with a full container, right? But after she passed it off to everybody, she had like this much left.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that's how much honey you got to give to your husband because
Mm,
you want to pass it around to everybody else.
mm,
It made them think.
mm. That's deep. That's deep. So what age? So what age? What age group you dealing with then? Like what age group? You got to be dealing with older teens
That's
at that point, right?
that's junior high school and high school.
Okay.
Why? Because you want to catch them in junior high school because by high school they already having sex.
There you go.
So you can't tell somebody that's already having sex that already felt how good it felt to them to tell them to stop all of a sudden.
Facts.
You know, they're not
Facts.
gonna stop. Your lesson done went in one end out the other.
You you coming in raw with it, man. Raw and uncut, as we would say, man. Raw and uncut, just diving straight in, man. I
Yep.
like that though, cause it's crazy. Cause I actually had a talk with a young lady today at summer school, man. Cause I was like, we was just talking, and just like she was like, man, I don't feel like waking up no more. I don't want to get up. Who want to do this? Blase, blase. So I just had to kick it real spill to her. Like understand you're not the only one. Even though I'm here, I'm working. You see me as a staff. I went through high school too. And I didn't want to get up, even though I was a honor roll student. I didn't want to get up. I hated going to school in the morning. But my thing was, since I'm here, I might as well make it count, right? And my
Right.
thing is, you know, if you drop out of school, how you gonna support yourself?
That's
You gonna live,
right.
you gonna live off your mom and dad? What you gonna do? You gonna jump out here? You gonna get into these streets? What you gonna do? How you gonna support
They don't think
yourself?
about that.
They don't
They don't
think
think
about
about that.
that. And then my thing is like, and I know you're not thinking about children, but what about when you start your own family? How you gonna support them? How you gonna support
Right.
yourself and your children? What kind of example do you want to be to your children? Do you want your children
Right.
to see like, I dropped out of high school, so they think it to themselves, it's okay for me to drop out because my mom dropped out. Now we got that revolving door, that cycle going on where, now it's like
Exactly. Yeah.
we're not getting educated as a black people.
Right.
Right. So now I had her thinking, she like, man, you know what, Smith, you actually right. And I'm like, I get it, man. I get it. It's hard waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:45, 7 o'clock. Right. But here's the thing. We not asking you to get all A's. We just ask you to pass the classes so you can graduate. The minimum is a C. We just want you to get that and move on.
That's
I'm
right.
happy. I'm happy. As long as you pass your classes, I'm happy with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then she like, you right, you right. I got it. And that's actually what our kids need nowadays, because they not having those conversations in the house.
Exactly.
Those are
Yeah.
conversations our parents had with us. My mom and dad, my grandparents had that conversation. I'm pretty sure your
Yeah.
parents did too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Today's society is different. They're not having that because it's different times. You got
Right.
kids raising themselves. You got babies raising babies.
Yep.
So then
Yep.
it falls on
True.
us as educators. So, okay, now I got to teach you about school and also got to teach you about life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I love being an educator. And that's why I love being an educator. So I greatly appreciate what you're doing, man. And I'll say, keep it up. Keep going, keep up the good work, man. And just keep striving, man. I appreciate you for doing that with the youth.
Most
I
definitely.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Andre, real quick, I'm gonna take a quick pause because I gotta go get this light because it's actually getting kind of dark in here. So I'm gonna take a
No
quick
doubt.
pause real quick and I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, so now tell me about this book that you've written, man, because you sent me a book and I actually started reading some of it. So tell us about this book that you wrote. The manual is what you call it. Tell us about the manual.
All right. I wrote a book called The Relationship Manual for Men That's Loved by Women. And basically, it's a manual on relationships just for men.
Okay.
I made it geared towards the men. Okay, because we don't have a lot of books out there, that's really telling men how to be men and how to approach the ladies and this and that. We don't really have that. The women have it, but the men don't.
The women
All
they
right.
got Steve Harvey and all that, so I feel it. I
So
feel it. So what
uh,
what? Go ahead, keep going.
no, go ahead, do your
Okay,
thing.
so what inspired you to write this book? Like I know you already said like we didn't really have nothing, but what inspired you or influenced you to write this book?
Okay, well, Um, I am a recovering sex addict.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so I wrote what I knew. Basically, I always wanted to, go into the educating of people and stuff like that. So this was my foot in the door, kind of say,
Yeah.
Um, I write what I know, and being a sex addict, an addict is going to do what they got to do in order to feed that drug.
Yeah.
They feed that addiction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've approached women in every conceivable way, and I know it works. And so I sit up there and I put a lot of that in the book.
Wow.
You know,
So a
I
lot of
mean,
this.
as
So go ahead.
I tell people, I said, you can sit up there and name your lifetime numbers, and that'd be a good week for me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. It's that's crazy because when I'm reading a book, when I started reading, I'm probably through the first 3 or 4 chapters because I like it because they short chapters. They short
Right.
chapters.
Uh,
Like it's about what 31, 32 chapters, if you want to say so, and but they short about 7 pages each. So
right.
I done got to about chapter 4, and I say about what was it, the second chapter.
Uh-huh.
I think it's the first or second chapter, man. You caught me off guard because I was like, man, this is deep. Like you started talking about, a couple having a threesome in the bedroom, and you got into it. You got real
Right.
into it. So I was like, man, like I had to take a break for a day because I was like, hey, he deep into this. Like, it's only a second chapter, he deep into it, but you was actually speaking the truth, man. And I'm like, man, it. I had to read it to some of my coworkers at the school because I'm like, hey, man, he telling us some stuff because it's like as a young man, I'm only in my 20s, but as a young man, it's like we didn't, like you said, we didn't really have a guide on how to love. Especially not me really growing up in a single parent household with my mother. I didn't really see. Yeah, I had my grandparents, I had my granddad and my grandmother who were married. You got your close people here in the community who are married, but with as far as sitting in my household, you know, I didn't have that. Yeah, my dad was married. And my stepmom got married, but I didn't have that, and I saw them probably 2, 3 times out the year. You
Hmm.
know, so for me, my thing was, you know, uh, I'm single out here. I'm gonna do me. As a young man, we always
Yeah.
taught, you know, get as much as you can.
Yeah.
Get as much as you can. You feel me? So it was just like that was my mission. When I
That's
first,
it.
like you said, when you get your first taste, you take off. And it was funny because we actually just got done recording the episode, and me and my brothers was talking. That actually came up. My brother was like, man, when I got my first taste, I took off. And it actually became a distraction, like it became a priority of mine.
Hmm.
And it's crazy because that's actually how it is, and especially in the inner city, because it's like, we go through so much, we mature, this and that, things happen. The encounters, intercourse, happens at an early age for us in the inner
Right.
city. So like when I got my first taste, I took off running. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was smelling myself. I'm like, man,
Hmm.
this is what it is, and I wanted to do this,
Right.
that, and that, and the third. So, when I read your book, I was like, man, this is actually crazy. And a lot of young men need to actually read this, man, because we don't really know how to be in a relationship, because like
Yep.
most of us grew up in a single parent household.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
don't know how I feel to be in a relationship. So it's actually crazy, that you actually did that and you wrote that. Cause like I said, I read I'm only in the first, like fourth chapter, and I'm like, this mug deep, it's hitting some nerves in me. I'm like, oh my gosh, he hitting some nerves with this one, So, my next question for you is, how long did it take you to write this book?
I uh I took my time writing it, so it might have took me like 8 months. You
That's
know.
crazy. That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Okay. So then here's one. What's the hardest part? What was the hardest part about writing that book? The manual.
The hardest part about writing it,
Yep.
there is no hard part about writing because I've been writing all my life. The only thing hard about it would be just coming up with the different scenarios and ideas that I want to add to it, like coming up with the different chapters.
Mm-hmm.
What do I want to talk about? What is it? What is it that is not out there that people aren't talking about? That's what I want to put in the book.
There you go. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. So I got a question because, like you said, this book, this next question is not really about the book, but you said this book is for young men and it's really teaching us how to love, be in a healthy relationship, things like that. So my thing is chivalry dead in today's society?
I've,
Is
I've had this conversation too many times. Because men don't open doors no more and stuff like that. We put out chairs. You always hear that. And I got to let them know, you know what? I said, unfortunately, you females are out here running fast and loose. I see,
ooh,
understand this. A man will not do anything he is not required
there you go.
to do.
There you go.
You understand what I'm saying?
There you
Now,
go.
if you close your legs a little bit and tell this man that he got to open the door for you, and you don't open them legs until he do, guess what he gonna do?
Open that door.
There you go.
He gonna open that
Very
door.
simple.
He gonna open the door. He gonna pull out the chair for you at the dinner table. You feel me? He gonna do whatever he need to do. Cause at the end of the day,
That's
like,
right.
like low key, that's kind of what we driven by. You feel me?
Yep. That's right.
So that's crazy. I talk about that all the time, but that's good that you said that. I like that. I like that. So, what is your favorite part about this book, the manual? Do you have
What?
any favorite parts?
I don't really have favorite parts and whatnot. I mean, all of it is driven from different experiences I've had and all that type of stuff. So, you know,
So did you have a certain chapter that you really enjoyed writing about?
um, maintaining a relationship. I like that one.
I think that's where I'm at, maintaining a relationship. I
Yeah,
think that's where I'm at. That's like one of the first few chapters in the book.
yeah.
So I think that's it. So what was it about maintaining, writing that chapter, maintaining a relationship that made it very fun?
You know, I see so many relationships fall apart because people don't know about maintenance. And I feel like a relationship is much like your car. When the car is brand new, you don't have to really do much to it and whatnot. You don't need the oil change and none of that type of stuff. But as months go by, you're gonna need that oil change. You're gonna need that tune up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's much what maintaining a relationship is all about. Finding out, updating yourself on what is your woman into.
There you go.
What is, because from day to day that might change. You might have asked them the same question last week, and the following week she done saw something that she now perked her interest, and now she's into that.
There you
But you
go.
didn't ask her, so you don't know.
No, no. I get what you said because it's like it's like you can have your girl or your wife, and let's just say her best friend husband does something for her, or they out doing something, and she like, babe, I want to do that, or babe, blah 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 blah. So you like, man, now I got
Yep,
to deal with this. Now I gotta do this just to keep her happy. You feel me?
yep,
Because like what they say, happy wife, happy life, man. That's what they say.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
I, I I get that. I get that. I hear a
yep,
lot of people. I hear a lot of couples talk about that, and it's crazy, and I'm glad you said that. And I actually, no, I actually read that part because you did talk about the car. You talked about whatever you did to get your lady, keep doing it. So if it was
yeah.
that every Wednesday you bought her flowers, keep buying her flowers every Wednesday.
That's
If it
right.
was every Friday night y'all went out to dinner, that's y'all time. Friday night, that's y'all time. Keep going to dinner. So it's
Yep.
like I don't know why it was so simple, but at the same time it was so mind blowing because I'm like, and this is simple, but it's actually like it's simple and easy, but it's like us men don't really think like that because that's just how we wired. Like I
Yep.
don't know why we give ourselves a hard time, but we just
Yep.
hard
You know
headed,
exactly.
man.
You know exactly what it took for you to get that girl, and once you
Yeah,
get her, you stop doing it,
right. So
and
then
then wonder
now
why it's falling apart.
just like a car. You wonder why it's falling apart because you ain't,
Yep.
of course, when you get, like you said, it's brand new. You don't have to do the oil change, but as time goes on, you gotta get the oil change, car wash. You gotta get the tires rotated. You gotta take it in. Get this and that. So, and if you don't, that thing gonna fall apart. The four wheels gonna fall
Yep.
off. Now you
Yep.
stuck. Okay, so let me ask you this: why should people read this book?
Why should they read it?
Yep.
Well, I wrote this book so that children, for instance, don't have to grow up fatherless.
There you go.
Okay. This book is about keeping the black family together.
Oh,
Okay. If you know how to treat your woman and your woman knows how to treat you, chances are the black family is going to stay together.
there you go.
So,
I like that. I see.
the whole,
I ain't even get all the way through to read it, and I'm so busy stuck on just the relationship part. It's a whole deeper meaning than that, and I like that. Is to help keep the black family together. I like that. That's good. So let's say this: where can people get your book? Where's your book available?
you can go to tiny URL / the manual of love.
Okay, that's good. And that's the only place, or is that the easiest?
You can get it. That's the easiest, but you can
Okay,
get it on Amazon too.
okay,
Check it out on Amazon. You can check it out on Goodreads.
there you go. Okay, so we getting kind of close to the end of this. I want to ask you: do you have any valuable information that you want to give to the people about being in a relationship or being in a marriage? From my understanding, you are married, correct? Can you hear me, Andre?
Yes.
So from my understanding, you
Yes.
are married, right? So what
Yeah.
information can
20
you
years.
give? 20 years, hey man, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Let me say that. That's a blessing. 20 years. What can you give? What information can you give to us young folks and even the older folks that's out there, still trying to find love, still trying to find that number one? What information do you have for us or advice?
Two things. Communication is the most important thing in any relationship. Okay. You want to know something? You communicate.
There you
That's
go.
the only way you're going to find out. The second thing is time is your most valuable asset. Okay.
Communication
It's the
time.
one thing you can't replace. Okay. You could sit up there and replace money. Your house could burn down. You got insurance for that.
There you go.
You know what I mean? You can replace all of that, but you cannot replace time. So
There
the
you go.
time that you decide to waste hanging out with your boys and ignoring your woman, you're not going to be able to get that time back. You can't say, "Oh, I'm gonna make it up to you with this." No, you're not going to make it up and whatnot unless you can reverse time,
There you go.
because that time that you talking about making up was that day was going to come anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The time that you missed passed. It's
Yeah,
gone.
it's gone. Can't make it up.
Yep.
And that's good.
So
Communication.
that's the
So communication and time. Communication and time is
yep.
key. So for my people out
Yep.
there that's watching this, remember write this down. Communication and time, especially to us men. Communication, because we have a hard time. I know for me, I had a hard time, and I still kind of do have a hard time communicating. But I will say that it's gotten a lot better. Uh, and then also my
Mm-hmm.
time. Me not being selfish with my time. And I say those two things were hard because, like I said, I didn't really have a prime example. I didn't get to see the ins and outs of a relationship every day. Because I didn't have a two-parent household. But also, I kind of claim,
Right.
blame being a single child,
Right.
because it was like I
I
got
get that.
everything right. I get everything to myself. I get everything to myself. I don't have to give my time to nobody. I don't really have to communicate. It was simply go to school, go play sports, come home. My like how you doing? I'm good. My grades good. So that was really it. She really didn't see the other things that I was dealing with. Because it was like everything else was straight. I was getting that high in it. So now, me growing up, I constantly practice that, and it found its way into my relationships that I had. I sucked at communicating. I was selfish with my time because it was like I never had to give my time to anybody else. So I struggled with that. But like I said, I quickly learned, like, hey, if I want to be in a relationship, a long term healthy relationship, I gotta learn how to communicate and I gotta learn how to give my time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's good.
One other thing I want to say before I go, about time, because I'd like to tell people this too. The village idiot and the most successful person you can imagine are all given the same exact 24 hours. It's all a matter of how they spent that 24 hours.
Great. It's good you say that because I saw a tweet the other day and it said Beyonce has the same 24 hours you do.
That's right. Yep.
Beyonce has the same 20. Beyonce, Jay Z, whoever you want to look up to a name, they got the same 24 hours as you do.
That's right. All of this is your work ethic.
That's it.
You decided to sit there and get high on the corner and stuff like that, chill with your boys, and she was in the studio working.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. So two more things before you leave, Andre. Two more things. Now we're gonna wrap this up. So my, second to last question is, what's next for Andre Carter?
You know what? All options are open for me. You know, if it got a paycheck attached to it, that's what I do.
Like that. If it's got a paycheck attached to it, that's what I do. If it's got a paycheck attached to it, that's what I do. Okay. And then last but not least, man, with her philosophy, I always ask our guests to leave a positive word for our people.
Your positive word.
Yep.
Whatever you do, stop following the next man. Close your eyes. Don't even look at the next man.
There you go.
Follow your own dreams. Follow your own path. That's how you become successful.
Yep.
You'll never, a doctor will never become a lawyer by following this guy over here that's a lawyer or an accountant or whatever. You're trying to be a doctor. Why you want to follow them?
Right.
You know what I mean? You got the things that you enjoy. You have to find your own gifts. Your own gifts.
There you go.
Whatever gift that you have. Some people it's basketball. Some people it's accounting. Some people it's science. You know, they're afraid to sit up there and express themselves because they don't want to feel like the outcasts.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, the people that you calling the nerds and you know, they the outcasts and all that type of stuff, those are the same people that you're going to looking for a job.
There you go.
Those are your bosses. Those are the ones driving the Maseratis and the Bentleys and all that type of stuff. The ones you was laughing at.
That's facts. That's facts. I like that and I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Well, Andre Carter, I appreciate you for coming on, being our first really interview guest for Hood Philosophy, man. I appreciate you. You had a lot of good words, a lot of good gems for us, man. You know, and hopefully sometime in the future, I hope we can, link up and connect, and do some work again in the future, man. I appreciate you.
All right, BJ.
All right, man. You have a great evening.
All right, yeah, you too, man.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.